Okay, hello guys. I'll face this way so you're not looking into that bright light just there. Sorry about that. Want to jump on here real quick before we get into today's video. You're going to see some testing of soil temps. You're going to be seeing some results from the clover spraying and other broadleaf spraying, weed spraying that took place 8 days ago. All the results shown in this next lot of footage. Before we jump onto that, had a thought this morning, come back to me, I don't know why, from years ago. A few people in my past, there used to be things that people would say and they just stuck with you for a long time. And for a long time I was stubborn and continued down that path myself. And what I'm talking about is change, right? A lot of people don't want people to change them. And they say, like, we promised we'll never change. These little mantras that they tell themselves and each other. At the end of the day, you want to change, guys. You want to adapt. You want to be able to change your life, your standard of living with whatever means necessary that you have available to you and your skill set. Don't feel like you are letting anyone down or that you have to not change to stay with a person or have friends in your life, or it could be related to anything and everything. Fact is, for me, it's relatable simply due to the fact that I'm married, have been with my wife, haven't been married for 13 years, but been together for 13 years plus. And in that time, we look back now and realise just how much we actually have changed, but we've grown together, right? This is a lawn channel, I know, getting a bit deep early on for this first little bit of footage, but I really feel like it's necessary to tell you guys that your stage of life where you're at now, if you don't want to adapt and change, if you don't want to stop what you've always done. So in relation to lawn care, a lot of people always have bagged and that's just how they've always done it. They're never going to change. That's fine. But if you don't change, you're not going to grow. If you don't look for another way to improve your speed and efficiency, you're not going to be able to earn them earnings that you're after. There's other people that don't want to go to a bigger mower because they think it doesn't fit through a gate, when I've had a 30-inch before myself, 30-inch mowers. They bloody fit, all right? 99% of gates, a 30-inch mower will fit. And it saves you dead set 50% of the mowing time. It says 40-something% for Toro, Time Master, it'll say something for the SCAG percentages, but it is 50%, 100%. I'm committed and I understand that people don't like going down these avenues and these little topics, but at the same time, it's efficiency gains, and because of change and adaptation that most people don't want to do, all right? I really can't emphasize enough. The only reason I've made this channel, guys, is for you, all right? I don't need to be on here telling you all this. I don't have the biggest reach on this social media platform. That's fine. I've got people in the local area that will do and always have done the same thing, right? Then they look and they see and they ask. You tell exactly what you've done, why you've done it, whether that be speed feed heads, whether that be getting a ride on or a stand on residential lawns. Doesn't matter what it is. It just seems to be a common theme that I'm noticing. People don't want to change. And then you got this COVID or all this crap happening. People don't want to change still, right? They want to go back to normal, but they don't realise it'll never be normal again, right? They might realise that, but the fact is they just want to go back to doing whatever they were doing before, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. If you're not willing to change, you're not willing to adapt, what's the point? You're just stagnant, you're just sitting there. Nothing's growing, nothing's changing. I can't emphasize enough, guys, I really can't. Change it up, mix it up. Don't worry about what everyone else says. It's not their business, it's not their life. You need to be able to grow, whether that's changing your mindset, whether that's changing the equipment you're using, whatever it might be, change is as good as a holiday, okay? There are many ways you can go about it in this life. Don't let people restrict you because they're afraid of change, okay? It's hard sometimes, but change is always a benefit to your growth, okay? Don't know why that became so motivational speaking first thing of this video, but it did. See you in the next slides. Bye-bye. Hello again. How are we all? Been a while since I've been on YouTube. Not really, but feels like it has. Last week, 8 days ago, I sprayed all this clover right through here. So I'll tag that video up. check that out if you haven't seen it. A quick and easy method that I use. So this is 8 days later. All the clover starting to wilt away. I did an Instagram post on an area down here, which I'll take you to in a second. But what I want to check, because I haven't done so this season, is soil temps. Okay, and what I do each and every season to show clients exactly why we're going back to fortnightly visits. Next week is my residential week. From there, 2 weeks later, residential week again. This is when the season begins for me, and it's a fortnightly roster. Okay, so I'm not sure how clear this will be and whether or not you're going to be able to see it, but I promise I'll let you know exactly what it says. So I just pretty much put that down as deep as I can, get down low, let's pin him up and see if you can see it. So look at that, 14.7. That's what I'm 14.4, it's just slowly dropping. Okay, so it's around 14 degrees, which isn't bad at all for right now in the season. Okay, we want 15. This is about 9ish in the morning, 9 o'clock. So to have that at 14 this hour of the day, so that's telling me that overnight temperatures are being held. I'll just give that a quick wipe off and I'll go chest it in the shade. Telling me that temperatures are being held around that 14 degree mark overnight. And last night was pretty chilly. Got down to about 6 degrees air temperature, but soil temp is what we're after. And you can tell that it is warming up because everywhere's starting to get green tufts, every property right throughout, as you see. It's good, you can see every hillside right around you. And yeah, you can really tell when I'm going to clients' yards now that the 2 weekly visit, people are calling up now saying, oh, when will you back again? Because they can tell that their grass is starting to grow. So a few people have already gone to 2 weekly visits, which is good. But this is why this helps for myself. Just to reiterate, when people ask why, this is why. Because I'm only going to be taking the top off even this lawn right now. But even still, I do that to enable growth and just to keep that green colour. A lot of people tend to cut this, say, you can tell we're very high up this side, very high in the clover, but in here, where it's sort of 2 inches, it still hasn't hardly grown. This is a bit of buffalo in amongst here. It's like an old school variety buffalo. And it's taken a little while to catch up. The Kaikyu all around, there's some on the far side way over there in that paddock. That's taken right off. A bit of Kaikyu up along the side here that has taken and responded really well. Depending on the grass types, there's a lot of different factors as to why they're going fortnightly now. Buffalo's going to take that little bit longer to wake up, depending on fertilisation and things like that, how much sun it gets, and it's a lot of factors, guys. Go back through the records there and you'll see why certain grass types respond better, but Kaikyu is always and tends to always be, in my opinion, jumping out of the ground and greening up that little bit quicker than all other grass types, coming out of dormancy quicker. Okay, what I want to get at too, I'll wrap you around this side. So all of this was sprayed as well, so you can see it's all starting to wilt. Again, 8 days later, every weed that was sprayed, all through here, get my shadow out of there. Even these didn't have like seeds or flowers on them clovers, and they're really responding exactly how I wanted. A bit of a bonus, it's taken down whatever this is, no idea, but it's getting rid of it, which is good. It's like creeping Charlie or something, no idea what it is, but it's going, it's gone. All this really decomposing. This was thick as, I only did a light spray here just to see what a light spray would do. Really not too bad. Up in here, definitely starting to get and take effect, but you can see there's a few new ones coming through. So out the back here, I want to aim for 2.5 around the property, 2.5 inches. All the paddocks 3 inches and above. I'm not too concerned about keeping them as low and like a manicured golf course. It's just more wear and tear for my equipment, and it's not gonna like hurt anyone walking out there at 3 or 4 inches. It's typically what I want anyway. But what I want to test out this season is some areas through here, some nice kikuyu. I want to have 2.5 and see how it responds. That paddock just in there will be at 3 or above, and that's going to be a direct comparison for you guys to watch as well this season, because I really feel like that higher setting has always helped clients, myself. Whole green colour, deep into drought season. We had droughts not that long ago. As much as we've been dealing with floods and all the rest of the issues we've been having, along with those, it's the temps that dry it right out that's the test. And yeah, you need to be able to hold on to your green colour, especially for your clients, in my opinion. Hey, rightio, forgot. There's a little section out here of buffalo, and this shaded area just keeps creeping, and right over here this is in full shade most of the day. I'm gonna drop him down here. All right, we're back on. Just checking this one out here. We're into the 13s. I'm gonna try a different camera setting here too. All right, hopefully you got that. What's that, 13? I'll just swing it around so I can see. 13.6. That's buried pretty deep here. That's better than what I thought. I was expecting around 12, but there you go. Even at 13, where it cops the majority of the shade for the day. So that's a really good test right there. So again, a couple of spots, like I said, just make sure that's off. Test a couple of spots, just to get an average. That spot there will be very cool as well. But all in all, the majority of this property, the sunlight touches it. So you're going to be averaging it out, let's say 13 to 14 degrees. That's only 2 degrees at the most off where we want to be for grass growth. 15 degrees and above soil temps is the optimal target range that you hit. And when you got summertime, springtime temperatures at night, sometimes the air temperatures are up around 15, and especially in summer, but in spring it is possible for air temperatures to be above 15, therefore you really do get that rapid growth. Long range forecast is showing mid like 20 degree marks, 25 degrees, 26 consistently now from next week, and then a bit of rain coming, and then after that I'm confident nighttime temps will be up and these winds will die down a little bit, and we come into the proper spring weather, really hit that ground running. But then again, getting the jump on the season and having tools like this just up your sleeve to then rely on data, not only visuals, but something you can prove and show. Take it out to a job if you want and just show clients and explain, like they can Google it themselves, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways you can go about your business, guys. This is just another tool that I use to make sure my clients understand it's go time now. This is back into the proper season. And I weigh it up, I look in the diary, beginning of the year, and I just do my fortnightly visits, and I'm all right, we're monthly from here, go deep into June if we can push it to then, and if that happens, this is when we'll be there. Therefore I know my fortnightly visits begin, and this time it was first week of September. Might be late August, might be second week of September in the future. It just depends on where that falls and what the season is doing. But typically anywhere in that range from September onwards, September to mid-September especially, that's when you want to be hitting this optimal season, okay? So we'll move on to get some footage of this mowing. Probably be on the Husky stander, just to rip in, 54 inches. It's the widest one I currently have that is working. And we'll go rock and roll. Go get some nice footage of some clover cutting, and that'll do. Edit this video and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. just to give it a crisp finish, I'm going to double cut it, go in opposite direction to what I've just done. Thing is, with clover, when it's that long, it does fold. Not the best mower for cut finish anyway. Spoken about that many times, guys, but any mower with clover I've found, even push mowers, it's so limp. it's so light and just folds. Okay, it's very hard to suck it all up and cut off cleanly. Gotta be careful with these analogies. And it just, yeah, double cut whenever it's that long for clover. And yeah, hopefully get some footage here for you that you're going to be able to see. And then I'm just going to do the rest that you're not going to see, because I'm going to be probably 6 hours today. Get the majority done. Enjoy tomorrow. 25 degrees tomorrow. I might take the paddleboard down the little creek bed here, clear out some sticks, bring them up for a fire, have a bit of exercise on the paddleboard. Swing this around. Alright, so I'll try and remember to just go to the water tank. Righto everyone, that'll wrap up the video for today. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget the all important like and subscribe if you enjoy any of this. I've got all this paddock down here to do, okay? Right over this hillside, so typically you run along that fence line, you'd run right down and just make a beeline wherever you go. So when you're rolling onto any acreage, any property, residential, no matter the size, guys, split it up, get it so it's neat and tidy in all directions, but don't just go to the perimeter and find the outside. Here comes Heathy boy.
What are you doing?
I'm just recording a video. I'm giving them an all important tip. Say hi.
Hi, I am Heath.
You are Heath. Good boy. Hey, I'll be with you in a second, okay? Alright?
Alright.
Alright, thank you. Where was I? Beeline. So when you're doing it, typically you could run around the outside all at once, but what I like to do is wherever there's a straight line, so that fence line, I'd continue straight from there all the way down, right? And then you've got that section to do, so you could just go across, do that section in an order that you're going from the furthest point back to your nearest point that you stopped at and started at, if you know what I mean. So you run down through and then you go across, and then you start going back until you're on that same line there. Same with this one. You come down here, straight line, get over to that side, up and back till you meet up to this fence line again, then come down, carry it through, and then straight up, and then you've got this whole middle section then that you can just go up and over this hillside. This hill here gets a bit dicey. Sit down mower, no go. Stand on with the Husky. This bit here especially, very steep, but it can do it, okay? You hang on for dear life, but you can do it. And again, this isn't about a safety video, this is just what I do on my property I'm looking after at the moment. And that Husky holds hillsides as steep as that. One benefit to that thing with them hydros on the front there, they've really thought about that with the weight. I have noticed that definitely. Compared to the SCAG, it's very light in the front end, not the safest for hillside. So you can see why it gets a bad name. Some mowers get a bad name, especially stand-ons on hills. This thing just hugs it like a go-kart, okay? Very, very good center of gravity and can't fault it for that. So yeah, I just double cut there simply due to the fact of the clover. Main message of this video, let's wrap it all up. Nice little bow for you. Check your soil temps, make sure they're up around that 15-degree mark. A couple of degrees below, not too bad, but really you want to be heading into fortnightly visits from now on. A lot of people tend to have their schedules determined by their clients, and that is not the way to go. It's what you say goes, not the other way around. Don't be stuffing around. People go, oh, maybe we'll just leave it for another month now. Winter time, I give people leeway because simply I can't justify ripping people off for the sake of ripping them off. It's not how you do business. You need to actually look at it and face value and go, all right, well, every lawn, this is hence why I'm cutting at 2.5 in there, leaving it longer out here, so I'll know based on this, just like I did on my old residential property, when it was dying down, the grass was slowing down, I knew my clients' yards would be, because if mine was, theirs certainly would be, because I was fertilising regularly, doing all the right things regularly. These lawns out here, I'm going to be doing very minimal to. Around the house, I will fertilise just to green it up, pretty it up there, get a nice little manicured yard for the kids to play on. And out here, I'm going to let it do its thing, send the drone up, we'll compare footage down in peak season when we got the rains happening, we got the temps up. This front paddock's going to look amazing with stripe action. I'm going to be having that at probably 4 inches out the front there is what I'm going to aim to get. 4 inches would be ideal just for the stripe action. And we typically don't go out there too much with the kids, dogs, anything. So snakes and things like that is the main reason I want to keep it down around the house. But out there, 4 inches, you can still see a snake in 4 inches of grass. A little bit harder, but you can. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, guys, because otherwise, you know what I'm like, I'll just keep talking. So thank you for watching. But yeah, get onto this fortnightly visits if you haven't already. Check your soil temps if you haven't already. Make sure you're good to go. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.